so then you should rely on France and Britain for your defense and for the things that happen to you in the world. Oh, come on. America is extraordinary. Its combat military gear is the greatest in the world. It is vital for India to stop listening to those silly people and come back and talk to the United States of America. Prime Minister Modi has a great relationship with President Trump. It's time to do something big, something grand, something that connects India and the United States. Some of the highest tariffs in the world, and that will require a rethinking of the relationship. We would like to focus on bilateral conversation just between India and the United States.
Trump, trade, tariffs, and defense deal. These are the four things that guided the exclusive conversation between the United States' newly appointed Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, and India Today's Executive Director, Rahul Kabal. Mr. Lutnick has not only been shaping the financial landscape of Wall Street, but is now at the forefront of redefining America's trade strategy. He is the key man leading the charge in global trade negotiations on behalf of President Donald Trump. Let's walk you through the big takeaways of this conversation. First up, reciprocal tariffs. These tariffs will come into effect from the 2nd of April. And the big question is, will India be at the receiving end of these tariffs or not, given that India has reduced tariffs on some products? So, this is what the Commerce Secretary had to say on this.
President Trump is thinking about it from the term reciprocal. How you treat us is how we would like to treat you. And I would like to tell you that India has some of the highest tariffs in the world, and that will require a rethinking of the relationship. I think what it requires is India to step out of the model that it's been in and really look at the reciprocal nature of the relationship between the great nation of India and the great nation of the United States. You know, look at it together. We have an extraordinary opportunity together, but if you include the whole world in it and you're always worried about each and every country of the whole world and how that pieces together, it would be almost impossible. So we would like to focus on bilateral conversation just between India and the United States, bring down the tariff levels that India has that protects, some of its areas. But remember, your protections are for the world, and really look at the opportunity of trading with America in a special way, in a unique way, to trade with the most powerful economy in the world and the largest consuming economy in the world, which is also very, very important.
Another focus of the conversation was the bilateral agreement. Could India and US navigate through the tricky waters of trade negotiations and agree on a bilateral deal by fall? This is what Commerce Secretary had to say on the agreement.
Well, if the time frame was designed to do motorcycles and bourbon and this product and this product and this product and this product, you're right. It would take forever. But because India is so gigantic and the United States is so gigantic, the right way to do it is a macro, and that's why we think we can get it done. The United States is interested in doing a macro, large-scale, broad-based trade agreement with India that takes everything into account, and that, I think, can be done. It will require a different kind of thinking, big thinking, things that your prime minister can do, because your prime minister has Prime Minister Modi has a great relationship with President Trump. That was obvious when we were all together. I was there at the meetings. I was there at the lunch that we had together. I've spent time with your ministers. but it's time to do something big, something grand, something that connects India and the United States together, but does it on a broad scale, not product by product, but rather the whole thing. Let's bring India's tariff policy towards America down, and America will invite India in to have really an extraordinary opportunity and relationship.
At the time when the world order is constantly being challenged and the security landscape is changing, the conversation also steered towards the question of trust and reliability. On the question of whether US can be trusted as a reliable arms supplier instead of Russia, UK, and France, this is what the Commerce Secretary had to say.
If I listened to that and really took that in, imagine me saying back to you, so then you should rely on France and Britain for your defense and for the things that happen to you in the world. Oh, come on. America is the greatest military and industrial complex supplier, creator, and builder in the world by so far. You would never, ever suggest France or the UK to be your supplier. And imagine choosing Russia. Yeah, that would be a way to really create India's comfort and independence. No. America is extraordinary. Its combat military gear is the greatest in the world. Its technology is the greatest in the world. It is vital for India to stop listening to those silly people and come back and talk to the United States of America, which your prime minister did, and he did a great job when he was here. The key is, let's form the best relationship between India and the United States. That is key and that is important. And that other stuff about relying on others.
And at last, the much talked about Donald Trump's gold card also came up in the conversation. It's a Trump card, literally, to offer direct pathway to US citizenship. The Commerce Secretary explained how the card will offer a fast-track entry into the US market, tax benefits, and an exclusive path to economic participation without global income taxation. Listen in.
So the extraordinary opportunity of the American economy, the magnet of the great American economy, has never offered the ability to have a clear path to citizenship, but the ability to only pay tax in America and not pay tax on your global income. So that difference where we're offering people, if they come into America through this gold card, they will only pay tax in America and not pay tax on their global income. And we think there is an enormous scale of opportunity of people who want to come to America, want to have this gold card, which is basically just an extraordinary green card if you think about it. But it's in a gold card. It will have quick access to the market. It will be quickly vetted and then and approved. And these people, the great entrepreneurs, great business people, great leaders, will come to America. They'll build businesses in America. They'll drive the economic, heart of America. Will add value from the world in, and we will reduce our budget deficit because Donald Trump's goal is to balance the budget of the United States of America. And once he balances the budget of the United States of America, his plan is to have tariffs and other outside fees start to eliminate the Internal Revenue Service. His goal is to drop taxes on Americans, He started with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, things like that for the key core of America. But his big goal is to balance the budget of the United States of America and then drive down income taxes. So if you can imagine for a moment living in the great economy of America, having a gold card in the great economy of America, not having to pay taxes on the rest of the world, but of course agreeing to pay tax in America, and being part of the greatest resurgence of an economy ever, in the greatest economy ever, I think you're going to see an enormous amount of people who would like to be members of that club